Hey everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Just United. And I know I missed last week's reviewing the Tottenham game and previewing the Liverpool game Sunday just gone. It was hectic for me last week, especially towards the end, you know, with Battlefield's Hardline coming out and trying to get ahead with the FIFA 15 career mode series with Borussia Mönchengladbach. It was just non-stop. So unfortunately, I was unable to get an episode out there. But here we are, Monday morning, after the Liverpool game. It's going to be a bit of a special episode as I go over the Tottenham game, go over the Liverpool game, and also preview our next game against Aston Villa. So first up, let's talk the Tottenham game on Mothering Sunday. The final score, 3-0 to Manchester United at Old Trafford. What a win, what a result. We desperately needed that as well. As I predicted in my previous episode of Just United, I thought the game was going to come down to a draw again, just like it was around about the Christmas period early in the season at White Hart Lane, where it ended 0-0. Both teams just cancelled each other out, and I thought that was going to be the case on Mothering Sunday against Tottenham again. But wow, 3-0. It was an absolute dominant display by Manchester United. That word dominant is going to probably be used a lot in this episode, just so you know. But a 3-0 win was definitely way above my expectations, because before we played Tottenham, we lost against Arsenal in the FA Cup, but our performances over the last 4 games previous hadn't been up to scratch, and I was kind of worried about this game, whether Tottenham were going to come away with a sneaky win and get those 3 points, which obviously would have been disastrous for United. But it was if the clocks have been rolled back to the Sir Alex era. The attacking Manchester United that we've all come to know and love was back. It was resurrected like a phoenix rising from the ashes. It was top notch from Manchester United against Tottenham. And you know, I was kind of surprised as well at the end of the game with the analysis, you know, Sky Sports and all that going over the performances of Tottenham. I was a bit surprised because Tottenham, they were non-existent. They just didn't show up at Old Trafford, and I was surprised because Pochettino, to be fair, has done a decent job with Spurs this season ever since arriving in the summer. He had a difficult task on his hands getting these players that AVB had brought in on that spending spree after the sale of Gareth Bale to Real Madrid. It was a shame for AVB that he couldn't have stayed with Tottenham and got the players gelling the way he wanted to, get them playing that way. But obviously the board at Tottenham had different ideas. Results weren't going their way. I do think Tottenham, Daniel Levy, I do think they've struck gold with Pochettino. He's done a great job. He did a great job last season with Southampton as he took that team from strength to strength. And I think maybe give him next season. Let's see what Tottenham do then. Maybe they'll be battling it out again for Champions League. Maybe they'll have a better campaign on their hands, as obviously this has only been Pochettino's first year. You need a manager to come in, start implementing his way, his philosophy, maybe bring in his own players, and then we'll see what they're capable of next season. I mean, they're in 6th, 7th now. They're still in with the shot of Europa football for next year. I don't think they'll make Champions League this year. I don't see that happening, but you know, it's still mathematically possible. But I think it's certainly pushing it, as they are now 6 points behind Manchester United as it stands here on the Monday after the Liverpool game. I'll get to that in a minute. Going back to United though, for that game against Tottenham, Van Gaal set out a 4-3-3 formation. Mata was back in the side, playing for Manchester United again after being warming that bench for so long. It was good to see him actually get a start at Old Trafford again, and in such a big game with so much on the line as well. He was put into the United starting lineup anyway because Di Maria was simply banned for the game after tugging on Michael Oliver's shirt in that FA Cup fixture against Arsenal. And, you know, I think that was kind of like a blessing in disguise for United, because Mata was just... words can't really describe how brilliant he was. He was just Mata. The Mata that we've seen in the past playing for Chelsea, putting in world-class performances week in and week out. Carrick was also back in the Manchester United lineup after being sidelined with an injury for quite a few weeks, and he demonstrated how important he is to this cause, to battling it out for the top 4 spot, how important of a player he is to the Manchester United team. And I'm so glad that he has just recently signed another 1-year contract extension. it's just so important to United. He is a brilliant player, and he showed composure and precision leading up to that first goal for Marouane Fellaini, who slotted it into the bottom corner with his left foot. That was just a beautiful goal, and it was so good to see him get another goal to his name at United. And also it was good to see him have a standing ovation as he was subbed off in the second half. It's brilliant to see such a difference compared to last season. After that first goal anyway from Fellaini, the game was running away from Tottenham. They didn't know what to do. They were just stuck in the mud. Manchester United, we absolutely crushed them. We dominated them. There's that word. No tactical alterations from Pochettino could legislate for the errors, for the poor defending. It was dire for Tottenham. And with the analysis after the game, they kept picking up, whether it be on Match of the Day or Sky Sports or whatever, they kept picking up on Kyle Walker. You know, kind of expect better from him. He's a decent player for England, for Tottenham, and he didn't show up. He wasn't there. He might as well have just subbed himself off and gone home. You know, we were just running rings around him. We'd won the game anyway by the 34th minute. It goes without saying how poor Tottenham were, doesn't it, really, when you say the game was won by the half an hour mark. But yeah, it was Rooney that started home the third goal. It was good to see him actually acknowledging that knockout, I want to say blow, but it looked like a jab from Phil Bardsley in his kitchen. But it was a great celebration. It was good to see that Rooney can be open about that, the whole situation anyway. And I think that's probably my favourite celebration I've seen from a United player. It was just funny how it happened, how it all came about. It was almost as if it was meant to be for Rooney. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite celebration that you've seen a player do. Is it when Rio got down on one knee and pretended he had a rocket launcher on his shoulder after playing soccer on the PlayStation with some of his teammates? Or was it that celebration from Rooney against Tottenham? Let me know in the comments below. Now, Sunday just gone. It was Liverpool against Manchester United at Anfield. Some said it was a 6-pointer this game. Whoever won this would certainly get an advantage of heading for a top 4 spot for the Champions League next season. And it was Manchester United that came out on top. Yes! What a result it was. A 2-1 win. And that man, Juan Mata, was the goal scorer for both goals. Gary Neville said it best. Never have I seen Manchester United come to Anfield and dominate the way they have today. Even with Sir Alex in charge, you know, it was always one of those fixtures where it'd be incredible. Yeah, we got results at Anfield, but it was always difficult for United. But Sunday, it was a walk in the park almost for Manchester United, especially in the first half. And I'd probably go as far as saying that that was United's best performance this season, even better than the game against Tottenham the week previous. Now, before the game kicked off on Sunday at Anfield, I'm pretty sure Liverpool were unbeaten since December the 14th, I think. Since they last faced United, they gone on a bit of a run, or were they undefeated with Jordan Henderson as captain? I know there was a lot of talk about it anyway, Liverpool being undefeated. The media, they were loving it. They were trying to get Liverpool into the top 4 spot. They wanted to see it. They wanted to see United out of it. I mean, even on, I think it was BT Sports, they all predicted that United would lose. Well, I'm sorry, but United won. And damn, it feels good. It means so much, putting them in their place. And what I think is even better is that Mata scored such an exquisite goal. I think it's hilarious that he had the audacity to try such an acrobatic move away from home at Anfield, of all places. It was just perfect. I can't stop thinking about that goal. I can't stop watching it because people have obviously made vines now, which you can see on Twitter, and you can just watch it over and over and over again. It's so good to see. But the one thing that will be brought up the most about that game in the media is, of course, Steven Gerrard's red card. Would you guys just excuse me for a minute?
Everybody thought he was going to score. Certainly, I think he should have with that header.
Oh dear, Steven Gerrard, you fool! What a fool he is. The second half, I need to try and stop laughing here. Whew, okay, so Rodgers brings him on for the second half after half time, and 30 seconds in, Gerrard gets sent off. Just unbelievable behaviour. It's inexcusable, even though Gerrard came on after the game and said, I'm sorry to the fans and everything, I've let you down. You know, if I was a fan of Liverpool, I wouldn't forgive Gerrard there, because maybe they would have had a chance, but this is the way football goes. And you know, I don't say it very often, but the ref definitely got it right this time around. Gerrard stamping down on Herrera's leg. You know that's not allowed in football. You show the studs, you're gonna get reprimanded by the ref, and you know, in most cases you're gonna get sent off. It was just silly. It was unacceptable behaviour from an experienced player in the Premier League. I'm kind of surprised as well that, you know, seeing that this was Gerrard's last chance probably to play against United, to play in this derby, that he would go and do such a silly thing. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but maybe Gerrard and Rodgers had like a little tiff. Maybe Gerrard wanted to start this game, but Rodgers had said, no, I want to start Henderson, or I want to start Coutinho. And so Gerrard's probably thought, you know what, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get myself sent off just for the shits and giggles, and then we'll go from there. I don't care. I'm leaving in the summer. Maybe that's what he thought, but maybe that's just me looking too much into it. No excuses anyway. Even if you've had a falling out with the manager, there's no excuses to be doing that. It's just disgraceful. And another disgraceful act was towards the end of the game when Skirtle stamped on De Gea. Absolutely disgusting. What was he thinking? He should definitely be picked up on that. Maybe banned for a couple of games or fined. Definitely. The FA, I mean, if this was a United player, it'd be the other way around. Oh, he's banned now for 6 games. Or something ridiculous like that to try and penalise us as much as possible. But thankfully, it wasn't a United player, and that we can say that Manchester United came away from Anfield with all 3 points. And we're also 5 points clear above Liverpool. We're 6 points above Tottenham and Southampton. We are in a great position. We've got a firm hold on a Champions League spot for next season. We're only 2 points behind Man City as well, so we could possibly end the season in second. That would be nice, wouldn't it? There's only 8 games to go of the season, and each one of those games have got to be treated like a cup final for Manchester United. We need to keep this consistency, this momentum going, but I do fear that that momentum may be hit slightly because we've got internationals coming up now. I'm so annoyed. I'm just so annoyed. Why have we got internationals at such a crucial time of the season? It frustrates me big time. I mean, I don't want to speak too loudly, but what if someone like Mata or Rooney were to pick up, or De Gea were to pick up an injury in those international games where we've only got 8 games to go? These international games, they need to be played earlier in the season or maybe in the summer, but not towards the end of the Premier League season. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Now, our next game after the internationals is against Aston Villa. It is going to be played at Old Trafford, so we've got that advantage there. Villa, they lost on the weekend against Swansea. We know that they've got a new manager now in charge. That is Tim Sherwood. He seems to be turning things around slowly at the moment. I mean, it's still early days, of course, but he's got Villa scoring again. I mean, just the other week they won 4-0, which was impressive, especially for Villa this year. He's finally got Agbon Lahore and Benteke ticking over nicely, but I don't think there's any room for concern for United. As long as Van Gaal keeps picking the same team, keeping that consistency there with the formation and selection, I can see us coming away with a decent win, a decent performance once again, and something to push on for our game after that against Manchester City. Normally, I would do a prediction of my starting lineup. Well, I'm not going to do that for this video because why change something that's working for United? I think Van Gaal is onto something here. I think we have finally clicked as a team. Players are starting to gel. Just need to start working in Di Maria and Falcao now. You know, if there was ever a time for Falcao to get his career at Manchester United back on track, it's now, with the last 8 games, the last sprint to the finishing line in the Premier League. So that's going to be it then anyway for this episode of Just United. I hope that you've all enjoyed. Do let me know in the comments below what you think of United's recent performances and our results, especially that game against Liverpool where Gerrard got sent off. And also, before you all go, don't forget you can follow me on both Facebook and Twitter. The links can be found in the description below for all updates surrounding this channel. There we have it then. That's it from me, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed. Thanks for watching.